Good morning, all of you. First of all, I would like to wish all of you Happy Teachers' Day. And on this occasion, I am also grateful to all my teachers who have taught me the various aspects of homeopathic Mantra Medica so that I am able to teach something to you. Though I am not a usual homeopathic Mantra Medica teacher. So, today I also remember all those teachers who were very nice to me in my young days. They have developed us, they have developed me, and they have developed my interest in the homeopathic Mantra Medica because of their teaching. Today, I am practicing homeopathy and I am still having the same enthusiasm towards this subject of homeopathic Mantra Medica. So today we will study. Since few weeks we are learning very different ways of study of Mantra Medica, and today we will study one more method of study of homeopathic Mantra Medica, that is study on the basis of repertory. Now, before going further, let me explain you what is repertory. Now, you don't have to fear about this subject. It is a very simple subject which is nothing but an index to the symptoms of homeopathic Mantra Medica. Now, so far we have studied that our Mantra Medica is very voluminous, so many books, so many literature is available, and again that literature is again emphasizing on the various aspects of homeopathic Mantra Medica. Some stalwarts focus on the therapeutic method, some stalwart focus on the clinical method, somebody focuses on the picture method. So because of all these various methods, because of all these various authors in the field of Mantra Medica, this volume of books on the Mantra Medica is very much, and the subject has really become a mountainous subject. It is just like an ocean of symptoms and the Mantra Medica. And even today, after 2 centuries, still newer drugs are introduced in the homeopathic Mantra Medica, like Falcopi, Titicum vulgaris, chocolate, vanilla. So it will go on and on. This development of Mantra Medica will continue. And because of this continuous development, it is good that subject is developing, but at the same time, it is creating some difficulties in the study of that specific subject. So repertory is a solution to all those difficulties when we study homeopathic Mantra Medica. And repertory has simplified the use of Mantra Medica, or repertory has simplified this subject just by doing mechanical work of indexing to the symptoms of homeopathic Mantra Medica. And in this method of study on the basis of repertory, this study is mainly based upon, and this index, it is not based upon the direct books of homeopathic Mantra Medica, but this index to the symptoms of Mantra Medica is used retrospectively for the study of homeopathic Mantra Medica. Then going further, what is the objective of this method? Now, we already seen there are difficulties, and to overcome these difficulties in the study of homeopathic Mantra Medica, different methods were existing, and each of this method has its bias, has its own strength, has its own limitation. And the main two limitations of this different methods of study of Mantra Medica, that knowingly or unknowingly, the prejudices, the bias of the authors comes into the description of Mantra Medica, and which is basically against the directions given by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, where he himself has told us that the homeopathic physician should always be prejudiced. And when we go for this different method, unknowingly, certain prejudices comes in that method of study of materia medica. And one more limitation is that this method or the different books are limited to the less number of sources. That means they have used only one or two source books to develop their method of study of homeopathic materia medica. And to overcome and to complement this limitation, there was a need of one more method, and that is built by, or that necessity is been found out the solution in the terms of repertory. So this was basically the objective of studying materia medica with the help of repertory, is that to overcome and complement the various limitations coming to the usual methods of study of materia medica. And one more objective is that once the materia medica is in the form of book, is in forms of volumes, it is very difficult to study them. But once it has been indexed in the form of repertory, it becomes very easy, speedy, and accurately we can refer to more and more materia medica. And with this objective, there are some stalwarts who have focused only on the specific type of materia medica, and they have converted this specific materia medica books into the repertory. And accordingly, this objective of this study on the basis of repertory is also fulfilled. Then what is the methodology of actually using this repertory for the study of materia medica? Before that, we'll see where the masters were introduced this. Now, this is early in the 18th century. Dr. Kelvin Probst Neer, in order to study hearing guiding symptom of our materia medica, which is in the 10 volume, he has converted that 10 volumes into a single book of repertory, only to study this materia medica properly. Then authors like J.H. Clark, they have also converted few of the popular books by John Henry Clark into the form of repertory, so that the materia medica will be more easy to refer, and in that way we can give justification to that materia medica, and we can apply more and more of that materia medica. Then Dr. Dosix and Kucklenberg. I will give you the names of these authors, what books they have been writing, or what books they have written on this basis of repertory to enhance the study of repertory. So we must take the name of this Dr. Dosix and Kucklenberg, two people basically. They have focused, they have written the special books, and they have developed this study on the basis of repertory in the form of special books, and they have focused on the Kent repertory, and with the help of Kent repertory, they have given this materia medica, the study of materia medica repertory. And then it was later on popularized by Captain K.K. Sarkar and Dr. R.R. Sanger. Before going into the symptom or method, details of the method, we will have to understand what is the difference between repertory and homeopathic materia medica. Now, as we have just seen, that repertory is nothing but the index of symptoms of homeopathic materia medica. But when we open a single page of repertory and when we open a single page of homeopathic materia medica, the difference is very much evident. And this difference one will have to understand. Now, in the repertory, if you open any repertory, you will find one specific symptom, and in front of that specific symptom, there is a list or there is an index of all those medicines which have proved or which have this symptom in their materia medica, and it is given at a one place. Before that, we'll also understand how in the materia medica, how it is given. Now, in the materia medica, how the symptoms and medicines are given. So, there is a one specific chapter or one specific remedy, and below that name of that medicine, all the symptoms belonging to those medicine belonging to that medicine, it is listed one by one. And this, while doing listing of the symptoms, the important is given to them, or the only those symptom gets attention depending upon the preference given by the author. So if there are 10 symptoms of Arnica montana and there are 10 different or so 3 different authors, all these 3 different author will not give you these 10 symptoms equally. They will, depending upon their clinical experience, depending upon their preference. So they will focus only on the few symptoms. And in the repertory, the scenario is exactly different. So in materia medica, only one medicine is described at one time, and in the repertory, one symptom is taken, and in front of that one symptom, different medicines are listed at one place. So before we study this method, we must be very clear about this difference between repertory and homeopathic materia medica. For example, in homeopathic materia medica, under the remedy Pulsatilla nigricans, there will be 100 symptoms depending upon the preference given by the author. But in the repertory, there will be one symptom. One symptom, like there is a one symptom of Pulsatilla, that is thirstlessness. So in front of that thirstlessness, repertory will enlist all the lists of medicine at one place, collected from different books of materia medica, and it will give index. And then this index of one symptom, and in front of that symptom there is a list of medicine. We can understand the materia medica with the help of repertory. I hope it is clear, the difference, the basic difference between repertory and homeopathic materia medica. And this is the disadvantage of this homeopathic materia medica, as only one remedy is specified at a one time, and the whole list of medicines which are producing the same symptom is scattered throughout the various books of various pages in that book. So if you want to search one specific symptom is present in how many medicines, you will have to turn after pages and pages, and then you will be able to understand how many medicines have this symptoms. It is a laborious task, but that laborious task is just minimized by the repertory. It is one symptom, and there is a list of medicine collected, compiled from different sources of materia medica, and it is nicely arranged in front of that symptom. So that if you want to find out thirstlessness in homeopathic materia medica and its remedies, it will take days together. But in the repertory, within once you find out that symptom, it is very I think there was some technical issue. The recording is going on, and we have so far studied a study on the basis of repertory. What are the objectives, and what is the difference between repertory and homeopathic materia medica, and we have also seen who are the persons who have introduced this method and who are the persons who have popularized this method. I think it is clear so far. So we will move ahead and we will see the details of this method, how this method is actually working. So in this method of study of materia medica on the basis of repertory, there are two methods. One is a direct use of repertory and another is indirect use of repertory. Now, in the method of direct use of repertory, our objective is very clear, that we want to study materia medica, and with that objective we go to the books of repertory, and we can do single drug study and comparative drug study. Now, how it is done, I will also explain. So, in my mind, there is one objective. I want to study natrum mood mind symptoms with the help of repertory. So, what I will do, first I will select the repertory through which I want to study that natrum mood mental symptom. Then I have selected Kane's repertory and I have selected mind chapter. Then I will open the mind chapter, and in that mind chapter there will be lists of various symptoms. So I have selected Kane's repertory mind chapter, and then I want to study natrum mood. So in that mind chapter there will be listing of all the various mental symptoms, and in front of that mental symptom there will be list of various medicines. So if I want to study natrum mood, I will read each and every symptom in the mind chapter, and I will find out natrum mood is present in how many mental symptoms given in the repertory. And once I finish this task, I will list the mental symptoms of natrum mood. So that is the single drug study. Then what is the comparative drug study? So in that comparative drug study, what I will do, I will fix the two drugs which I want to compare. I will also fix the chapter or the section in the repertory where I want to do exactly that comparison. For example, natrum mood and ignition I want to study with respect to the mental symptom, and I have selected the Kane's repertory. Now I will open mind chapter, then I will read all the symptoms indexed in that mind chapter along with that list of medicine, and I will find out all the symptoms in the mind chapter where natrum mood and ignitia is present. So once I do this enlisting of such kind of symptoms where natrum mood and ignitia is present, and then after understanding this, that these are the medicines, these are the symptoms in which natrum mood and ignitia is present. First, I will collect this list, and after collecting this list, I will get a knowledge that in few symptoms, natrum mood and ignitia is common, and in few symptoms only nitramur is present and only ignatia is present. So when I get this list of medicines or a list of symptoms in which both nitramur and ignatia is present, that will become the list of similar aspects of this two drugs, nitramur and ignatia, and the drugs in which only nitramur is present, ignatia is absent, or vice versa. Only ignatia is present and nitramur is absent. That list of symptoms will tell us the dissimilarity. In the difficulty, this is how we are going to use repertory directly for single drug study and for comparative drug study. So this is the one method of using repertory with a very clear objective to study materia medica. And then there is one more method is in which we are going to indirectly use the repertory. Now, how we are going to use indirectly repertory? There is one process when we use the repertory for a selection of medicine or a case. There is a special process which is called as a repertorization. And when we do repertorization, we have to just study how many medicines are covering the how many symptoms present in that case. So when we do repertorization, the objective of repertorization is that if say there are 10 symptoms present in that case, so for those 10 symptoms, how many medicines are common? That is the objective of repertorization. So I think I'm creating more and more difficulties. I will slow down my speed. So first you have understood repertory. It is an index to the symptom of homeopathic materia medica. Then you have understood actually the different presentation style of repertory and materia medica. And when we use the repertory for selection of medicine for a case, that process is called as repertorization. And in that process of repertorization, what is found is that, say, in a case, there are 10 symptoms. When we use repertory, when we do repertorization, the objective of this repertorization is to find out how many medicines from our whole materia medica is covering these 10 symptoms present in that case. And when we follow this process manually by filling the repertorization chart. Okay, again, one more term. So this repertorization chart is nothing but it is a chart where you have to write down where you have to identify, whether you have to find out the similarity of maximum number of drugs to the symptoms present in that case. So when we do it manually, we add indirectly into our mind. For example, I am now repertorizing. There is a one symptom. Is it clear so far? There is a lot of disturbance today. The meeting is relatively discontinued. So when we indirectly use repertory for this process of repertorization, and I have taken an example of that specific symptom, desire for sweet. Before opening to the desire for sweet, I only know that desire for sweet is only one medicine, that is Calcarea carb. So first time when I repertorize, I remember only Calcarea carb. Then second time I repertorize the same symptom, two more medicines get added into my mind. That there are also drugs like lycopodium and argentum matrix. Fourth time, fifth time, then again and again repetize the same symptom. If I repetize the same symptom for the 10th time, I will definitely going to increase the number of medicines in my mind. And in that way, when we use repertory, we get something new about the medicine. Some new medicines comes into the focus, and that's why it is said that when we use indirectly repertory, it makes the study of homeopathic mathematics extremely interesting, and it reveals more and more about unknown symptom. Then there is one more symptom. There is a desire for sweet, and there is symptom desire for dentities. Now this dentities means mithai, various mithai what we get in the market. So there are there are few remedies which are present only in the desire for dentities and not present in that desire for sweet. So desire for sweet, few remedies are there. Desire for dentities, few remedies are there. Sweet and dentities. Basically, this has the sweet taste, but with the help of repertory, we can come to know that there are only few medicines which have desire for sweet, but they don't like this dentities. And there are few medicines which are having that desire for dentities, but they do not have that desire for sweet. For example, I will tell you the argentum nitricum. Argentum nitricum is present only in the desire for sweet. It is not present in the desire for dentities. And when we refer to the Mater America, argentum nitricum is only known for its craving for sugar. And it is said that this argentum nitricum person will actually steal the sugar from where it is kept. And you must be knowing that little poem, KG poem, Johnny Johnny Yes Papa, and then that situation comes that this small kid is always eating sugar and playing hide and seek with his parents. So that is the craving for argentum nitricum. It is only for sugar. It is not for the dentities. Then there is a medicine nitrum carb. In this nitrum carb, there is no desire for sweet, but it has only desire for dentities. That means this person will like only mithais, but he will not like the sugar. So when we study indirectly Mater America while using repertory, we get such more and more unknown aspects into our mind, and the study becomes more and more complete of homeopathic materia medica. Then what are the merits, demerits, and examples? There are two more methods of this repertory study on the basis of repertory. One is where we will directly share the books, directly open the special books for studying Mater America. So in that, there is an example of that Dr. Dossix and Kucklenberg. So they have just focused on the study of medicines which are